Hey, welcome to Wise Guys Speak Podcast. I'm your host, Egenti,
And I'm here, Mike Rao. We're here live at Darwin's Pub. We're
home of the
as our
podcast.
third video podcast, sponsored by Old Humble Distillery. I'm having an Old Humble Distillery and Diet Coke. Who am I kidding? But right now, and we're here. We're here. We got our new producer. If you're
Charles
watching
Justice
this, you've
with an
seen
E.
our video podcast. We're working on all the other social media aspects of the
Right.
podcast site. Some big announcements coming up soon with that. But yeah, an exciting week for me.
What happened this week for you?
I don't know. I'm having a senior moment here. Got my barn all done. It'll be energized tomorrow. I get electricity in my barn. My wife calls it a shed, just like she calls the 5 acres we have a house,
Right.
not a ranch. And I go, okay. So now that's what I just said. Hey, where are you? She goes, I'm at home. Oh, you mean the not a ranch? So I call it the not a ranch and not a barn, just to piss her off. What else? Oh, I had an internet security company come out to the house today because they fired my other security people. So right now, by the time our viewers and listeners hear this, I will be fully armed again. But right now, I'm without security monitoring because I fired those people. And another company came out. Bo Hernandez, by the way, looks great.
Oh, that's his company, right?
Yeah, he brought him and his the other owner out to look the place over. And, I said, hey, look, I want internet here, and here. I need this stuff done. I need new monitoring. I want to get a aerial TV antenna installed, all that other crap. And they go, yeah, we do all that stuff. And this is way better than Best Buy. So what's the name of his company? Jeez,
I don't know.
I should plug
You
him.
basically got your house like Fort Knox now. Got it.
Well, not right now. By the time this right now, you could break in and you'd get recorded, and the recordings would go to India somewhere.
Oh, my
So
God.
if you murdered or stole anything, you'd eventually get caught, but it wouldn't be right away.
Jesus. Golly.
But yeah, so I'm excited about that.
Pretty excited. Hey, so I went jean shopping today because for some reason, obviously, I'm losing weight, so I'm trying to figure out what clothes to wear and stuff like that. And my clothes is just all baggy on me now, so I need to get some jeans. And I used to be against skinny jeans, and now I'm just a skinny jeans kind of guy now. I don't know. I'm just literally I'm like a little African James Dean now, baby.
What's your waist size now?
So anyway, I was going to look for my pants, right? And I never shop at Old Navy, product placement. I never shop at Old Navy. I went in there. I was like, because I was looking for my favorite jeans. There's a jeans called Echoes. And I was like, okay, this jeans I like. It fits me really well. I Googled it. They said it's still at Sears. I was like, okay, I'm going to Sears to go buy some Echo jeans. I get there. There's no sizes for 42. There's all the highest they got is 38. I go,
You're a 42?
I'm a 42. And I said, holy shit, I cannot.
I'm a 46, everybody.
See, I can't wear 38. I haven't worn 38 since high school, I don't think. So I was like, I can't wear no 38 now. I was like, that's crazy. So I decided to go to Old Navy that's next door to Sears. And I was like, they're not going to have my size in fucking Old Navy because it's Old Navy. And I go in there, and the highest they have is a 40.
They go up to 40, yeah.
And I was like, so I told the lady, the cashier, I said, you guys don't have 42? She goes, oh, you have to buy it online. I was like, if I could buy it online, have it in a fucking store. So anyway, I was like, it's not in the store. I was like, this fucking frustrating. So I said, you know what? I'm going to try my 40 size, right? I tried it. It fit me like a glove.
It fit you like a glove.
Perfect fit. As I was putting my jeans on, I never felt so sexy in my life. I was like, I'm down to 2 sizes? Like,
Oh,
what?
my God.
I was like, I'm a sexy beast, Mike. I don't want to tell you, man. This red wine, I'm like one step closer to Rihanna, man.
One step closer to Rihanna.
I'm telling you, man. I love this, man. This is 40.
One step closer.
I'm wearing 40 skinny jeans. Are you shitting me? Who am I right
If
now?
anybody needs coup address for a restraining order, just let me know.
I'm just telling you, man. Look, I'm wearing skinny jeans. I'm drinking red wine. I love cats. I know what's happening. I'm like a middle-aged white woman. I love it.
So yeah, I'm down to 46. I don't call them skinny jeans. I'm just out of the oh damn size.
I love it.
I'm down from 58
Look
to
at you.
46s, and I took a break from the diet. I said I'm just going to eat normal and see if I can maintain this weight,
Right.
and I can. So far, I've lost like 3 or 4 more pounds just without even paying attention. So now I'm going to hit the diet again, but now with a lot of exercise because now I can move.
I can move without breaking something.
Keeping a pool open. Is your pool closed yet? Did you close your pool down there?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Yeah, I'm keeping the pool open.
I don't know because I have crackheads around my neighbor. I don't want nobody. Well, they don't listen to this podcast. I don't know.
No.
It's open. It's always open, ladies.
So my wife closed the pool because we had that storm, the rainstorms there, and of course the pool got filled with pine needles and everything else. And it took an hour today to clean off the patio. That's not bad.
I
really.
don't know how you have pool though. You live in fucking.
I use it almost every day.
But
when I'm home.
Your house is just literally straight still Magnolia type of shit, man. I don't even know why you guys have a pool there. It's so weird having a pool right there.
I like it.
I get that, but it's just a weird location for where you guys live at.
To have a pool out in the country?
Yeah, it's
well. There's no public pools around.
No public pools.
Pond. Dig a
They
pond.
call it a lake out there, probably.
There's no lakes. Yeah, there's none.
There's
of
no
that
lake
shit.
out there, in Magnolia.
I don't think so. No.
Oh my god! Hey, dude, we got to go to Renfest. We have to go there.
Yeah.
I put a little post out there on Facebook. I said I need a tour guide to take me to Whiteville, and I had a lot of people wanting to take me to the Renfest Festival. That's awesome. So
Yeah, go.
I need to figure out a day to go.
If they want to, they can stay at my house, so you can get there nice and early on a Saturday or Sunday morning.
But people camp out there. They live out there.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not doing no camping.
I live
sorry.
4 minutes from the Renaissance Festival.
Mike, I'm not living
except
outside.
when the Renaissance Festival is going on. Then I live 4 hours from the Renaissance.
I'm from Nigeria. I'm not living outside for nobody. That's not.
No, you can stay at my place. Stay in the pool house or something like that.
But I'm not.
Or if your case, the pond house.
It's so much fun. I was like, outdoors? No, not me. I'm not that African, brother. I'm pretty much internet African. That's what I am.
did that. I did that for the first 16 years of my life. I'm living
not going
indoors.
to live out. I didn't even live out there when I lived in Africa, so I'm not doing it when I could in America.
No.
That's for sure. That's not working for me.
Yeah, I don't like camping. I don't. I mean, I'd camp out as long as they could still get pizza delivery. That would be cool.
It's amazing. I'm gonna get Charles to tape me as I'm doing like a video blog of me going to Renaissance Fest. Just me going there for the first, because I don't know what to expect. I don't even know what to do out there.
It's like walking around in the woods. It smells like the woods. Bring a lot of money because everything costs something. And I mean,
so they don't take cars. They don't take plastic?
No, not in the old.
What?
The old Renaissance forest. No,
so
sir.
they take that serious. They really take this stuff serious about.
I don't remember if I used a card.
Thing.
Here's what I know. I took my grandkids there last year.
Charles, you've been there, right?
It literally
take cards.
It literally. Yeah, it's
to
a hassle
use it?
to take cards. Yeah.
Jesus.
I brought $300 in cash. It lasted me.
Everything cost $7.
About an hour. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like
everything costs $7.
It's like Starbucks, which I call $6 because everything costs $6, and that's what that place is. Everything costs $7.
Everything's just $7.
I'm like, ooh, I can get an eggplant parmesan sandwich. I was psyched, right? Because I was starving. Because we were in the car literally for 4 hours. We had to drive all the way to Navasota and back,
right,
to get in the gates. They wouldn't let us in the way I could go, which is, like I said, it's 4 minutes from my front door to the main gates of the Renfest, and they wouldn't let us take that road. I said, I live here. Yeah, you need a sticker on your car. I'm like, okay, well, here's my address. I mean, I live right over there. No, you got to go this way. 4 hours with a bunch of kids in the car, 2 cars we took. We parked. And I was there about an hour, and I ran out of I burned through the $300 in about an hour.
So my friend has an idea for this. He goes, "Hey, shout out to Richard, but he goes, hey, we should dress like Star Trek people."
I said this.
And just go to not you, no, like always starting to get credit for people's shit. Anyway. This guy, Rich, was like, hey, we'll dress as Star Trek guys, and go there. And people ask us, like, who are we? Like, we for the future. Where you guys from?
We beam down here. We're here looking for the Borg.
I thought that was a genius idea, but I'm not doing it because that's stupid.
Actually, people have done that already.
Really? I
saw it last year when I was there. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Goddamn
That's why I said it when you brought it up. I said, oh, we should beam in there. You pretend you're from Star Trek. I think you should go as the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Mountain first off, he's fucking white. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Well, okay, so
so I would just be
all right.
A guy
so you'll be
like Mountain.
You'll be
from
the
to be again? Mountain. Like,
yeah, but your mountain is they mine charcoal in your mountain. You're in the Chocolate Mountain. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more like a hill.
Mount Kilimanjaro.
I'm more like a Kilimanjaro. Oh shit! No, I'm probably gonna be. If I'm going to be anybody, I want to dress like The Hound. That's my guy, man.
The Hound.
Get the prosthetic fake face and the long hair and just cursing out everybody.
What about the Giants? There's like 2 or 3 different Giants on Game of Thrones.
They got the
They
Hound.
got the woo. They sound like
They got the
Wu-Tang
Mountain.
playing their names. I forgot what their names are.
There's only 2 Giants on the show.
All right. Well, I never watched
You can
it.
tell you don't watch the show because you just making up shit now.
No,
You just
I
really
read
making up
about
stuff.
it on Facebook in preparation.
You read
for
about
this.
it on Facebook.
Not Facebook. Google. I Google.
Well, Wikipedia?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. IMDb. if
Nobody
I'm not
goes on
mis-
Wikipedia.
IMDb.
That's funny.
So
anyway, speaking of stuff that we have a weird podcast, you know that, right? Me and you have a lot of people don't know is we have a mutual respect for Julia Andrews.
I love Julie Andrews. One of my
I just
favorite. Certainly, my
They did a
favorite
documentary.
musical is
They
Victor
did a thing
Victoria
on her
on ABC.
On ABC, yeah. Did you watch it?
I did.
Did not know she lost her voice 5 years ago.
Very sad.
Is it
Very
5? No,
very
about
sad.
10
It's
years.
been longer than that.
Yeah. 10.
She has
15.
you think a once in 100-year voice, 8-octave range, no falsetto, and she trusted a doctor, and the doctor fucked
her
it
up.
A lot of celebrities she's lucky she didn't die. You think about Joan
that could be
Rivers,
Kanye West
she
mama.
fucking died. Right?
Oh, Kanye West mom, yeah. She died.
So, it was a very sad story, but she's my favorite musical, Victor Victoria,
she's great,
by
man.
far.
I didn't know Victor Victoria directed her husband.
Blake
or late
Edwards,
husband.
he was he was an oddball comedy director. He's directed all the Pink Panther movies.
Breakfast at Tiffany's,
which I just watched yesterday.
For the first time?
No, I've seen it like 100 times. I still cried, though. I feel so sorry for George Papard because he wants to nail that skinny. He had that skinny ass once, and he just couldn't get it out of his mind.
Can't get out of his mind.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And with the little boobs, I used to do a joke about her. Dean Martin used to joke about her. He goes, what's her name? Audrey Hepburn. Because in a minute, Audrey Hepburn's going to come out here and sing "It's a Marshmallow World." Like, oh my God. And that's in the 50s. He got away with that joke. Yeah.
I didn't even know that Sound of Music's that's literally my mom's favorite movie, and I watched that shit over and over as a kid. They shot that movie like in the rain. Most of the scenes were done in the rain.
The big scene, was because of where it was, the hill where they had shot it.
And it was cold out there.
Now that woman, the Julie Andrews character, the real person, I met her. At
Maria, whatever her name is,
and she was a
nun for real.
Yeah, and
she snuck the Jews out of Austria, right?
Well, they weren't Jewish.
Were they?
They were her family, her husband, and
why would they try to kill them though? I don't get that part.
He didn't want to participate. It's a pretty common story. It's the reason we're in America. My family's in America because my grandfather hated Mussolini, did not want to become a fascist, did not want to be in the military. So he found a way over here, not illegally, got over here legally. But they snuck out of the country because her husband, who she took care of his kids,
right,
and then they got married later. They, by the way, this woman nowhere near as attractive as Julie Andrews. Wow, man, she is hard looking. Anyway,
she killed boner for sure.
But anyway, wow, most nuns would, but not priests. It's funny.
That's funny.
I didn't believe I just said that.
I can't believe you did that joke either. Jesus.
Anyway, no, so they snuck out of the country because he would have been conscripted in the military, and his family would have essentially been held hostage, so that he would obey orders in the military, and he just didn't want to do it. He didn't believe in Germany. Austria was a separate country, is again today, and
but they speak German though.
Yeah, it's a German nation, and it was annexed by Germany. So anyway, I met this woman, this guy, Bob Popick, probably long gone by now, owned an organ and piano store. And he got her to come in and do a personal appearance. So people would come and see her and buy an organ or a piano from him, right? This is many, many years ago. She was an old woman then. And she's being interviewed on TV. And I'm there for the interview, and she is the crabbiest person. Yes, it was terrible. She lived in Vermont or somewhere, New Hampshire, somewhere in America. She had emigrated to America, And then she said something is like God came down. She goes, "The only thing that kept our family together was playing around the piano every night." Like she's doing a commercial for him. He couldn't get her to do anything nice the whole time, but the
That's
TV
funny.
interview was just great. And she was. You should go. There's probably YouTube videos of her around because she used to do a lot of personal appearances like that. Very, very crusty old lady.
Oh, I get it.
Oh man.
No, it's a really good movie. That movie, like I said, that movie crossed over internationally for everywhere, man. It's crazy how many countries watch that movie in their language.
How do you? This is my next karaoke song. I think I'm going to sing.
What?
How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you solve a problem like Maria?
Oh boy.
That's the opening song from the movie.
Oh boy. Jesus
Again,
Christ.
not gay. Everybody.
But I didn't even know that's her first movie. Her first movie was like Mary Poppins. I didn't even know that. That's her first major movie.
Yes, yes, and again, look at her range, 8-octave range, and she showed it off in that film. Oh no, there's one other thing. As long as we're still talking about singing, we got about 4 minutes left for the first segment here. So I went to karaoke with you. Did crowd
Saturday,
work?
yes.
Crowd work at the secret group.
Right.
A couple of your fans were there. A nice Italian couple.
They're not Italian.
He's Italian.
No, he's not. He's Mexican.
He's Italian.
No. JR is Mexican.
Ask
His
him.
wife is white.
Ask him. He's
No,
Italian.
he's Mexican.
He's half Italian. I'm telling you.
Jesus.
I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. He went over his whole family history. He's showing me pictures of his relatives. The whole
Well, he
nine
told me
yards.
Mexican.
Yeah, well, so
Well,
he's
like,
half
the
Mexican.
Mexican side
But
is
anyway,
heavy lifting.
not the point. So we go to do karaoke at Christian's, and I sing Sweet Transvestite. And by then I had been talking all day. I'd done a show before, and then I did crowd work show, and then we go and I sing, and my voice is real raspy because it's after midnight. But I think I belted it out pretty good, but I didn't think I did that good. And you came up to me after, and I said, yeah, I kind of screwed that song. He goes, I know, but they loved it. The audience loved it. There was, at the bar, a bunch of people in front of us, and they're cheering and singing along with me, and it is the Houston Show Choir. Shout out to you guys. And before I left, one of them stopped me and said, hey, you were great. And I'm like, oh, I didn't think I was that good. And then another one stopped me and says, well, hey, check us out sometime. And I'm like, oh, there's the Houston Show Choir. And he gives me this card. He goes, yeah, he says, we're always looking for people. The Houston Show Choir, just made my head. I had a hard time getting out of the door. I had to turn my head sideways. It had gotten so big after getting that compliment.
Well, too bad they kissed my ass a year earlier, but I didn't want to do it because I turned him down because I'm that good.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised.
Oh, when I was performing, they hated my guts. They're like, "Oh, this guy, we want him to be in our choir." I was like, "Dude, I'm a solo guy. I'm Han Solo. I like my shit. I like to do my. I don't need too much people on stage. With just me and the mic and get out my way."
So my wife goes through my pockets, of course, so I don't.
Oh, she thought you
doesn't
cheated on
wash
her
my.
about it?
No. She sees the card. She goes, "What's this?"
Oh boy.
And I was waiting for her to ask me. She goes, "Should I throw this out?" I said, "No. They've invited me to join
to audition for him
their
or join
show
him or audition.
choir." No, they said. I mean, I think I did audition with belting out that song. That's as bad as I can sing, and it was still good enough to get their attention.
Right.
That's all I got to say. So my wife really hated that. Her eyes, I think she sprained an eyelid rolling her eyes. She's like, oh, God. I'm like, hey, you hate my singing, but I am now recognized by the Houston Show Choir.
That's funny.
Which is probably not that big a deal, but they have nice cards. Anyway.
What? They have nice choirs.
It's actually 3 choirs in one.
Oh, yeah?
And they're like kind of grouped by age and stuff, so I'd be in the old guy
Yeah, they come
group.
they'd be there like maybe 2-3 times a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, they were good. I mean, they sang a couple of songs they went up there and sung they were really
Yeah,
good.
but they can't fuck with me. I blow them out the water. Anyway, next conversation.
Well, thank you for sympathizing with me.
Astros tied the game.
Oh, yeah, that
Finally
was
lost the game
expected
yesterday.
last night. That was great. And horrible call by the umpire. And then he followed it up with a get even call with calling a strike that was about 6 inches off the plate, but it helped Houston. The good call, the bad call hurt Houston. The good call on the next pitch helped Houston. So I guess that was okay.
Well, I try
top
to
of the
watch
11th.
it, man. It's so boring. I try to watch
It's
it.
not boring.
It's Jesus Christ. Charles was there. It's fucking. It's like fucking IV, just going, just drip, 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 drip. It's so slow, super boring. There's no excitement. It's the worst. The worst.
Really?
The worst. The best highlights when Astros won. That was it. That's what everybody screamed. Other than that, it was like, it was bland.
So you got pitchers throwing balls at 100 miles an hour.
Boring.
Pretty much the guy behind the plate, the guy at bat, could literally die on every single pitch.
Boring.
But it's boring.
Half of them look like me. Like I was like, shit, I should be the fucking pitcher. All of them look overweight and shit. CC Sebastian looks like he just got out of the couch. He looked like he had like a alcohol binge and just said, "Hey, CC, we need to go in the pitch." And he was sweating like he did the first, but he already started sweating bricks already. I go, he's on fucking dope or something.
No, he's not on dope. He's on cheeseburgers. But
I'm saying he was so overweight. They yanked him out the game as soon as Altuve came in the game. It was like, oh yeah.
No, he was only there to pitch. Pitch to someone.
As soon as they got him out, the crowd was booing like, "Leave him in there," because Altuve's gonna get a home run off of him. I love
CC Sabathia. Is great. Here's the best thing about CC Sabathia. I use him for when I need a fitted cap, like my Mets cap here, fitted official National League baseball cap. When I need a baseball hat, and they go, "What size are you?" I said, "What is the biggest size you have? Do you have CC Sabathia's size?" And they go, "Yes." And then I go one size smaller than that because that's my head size.
Buddy.
He has the biggest head. He's like a size 8.5. It's an enormous head, too.
I mean, he's built like a truck driver on coke.
I love CC Sabathia. He's one of my favorite pitchers.
How is he still pitching?
Because he's great. He's got every pitch
apparently
imaginable.
You just need one arm, apparently, for your pitcher. You don't need anything else. You don't need no athletic skills. You just need one good arm. That's
you got to field your position. And it takes a lot of athletic skills to be able to throw a baseball over. You try throwing a baseball. Let me see how fast you can throw it. I bet you can't even hit 40 miles an hour.
All he's using one arm, right? He's not using every body he has.
He uses his entire body to throw that
really.
ball. Oh yes, they are. Yeah. Charles wants to defend me.
The guys,
I don't need any help. Right now, look. Right now, Koo's got a shovel. He's just digging himself a hole because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking
about baseball. It's not football or basketball. I'll let me when that gets really.
Although the Texans won,
boring. Put a time clock in baseball. Put a fucking clock and just let the clock run and let people know. Okay, this shit's over with. Game's over.
Was that game lasted almost 4.5 hours? I think
almost 6 hours.
No, it's 4.5 hours.
The game was almost over at 1.
Yeah, but it started.
It started at 7.
No, it was a 4.5. I read the press stuff and I watched all the game till the end. I don't think so.
It started like at 7.
Okay.
And it was over like almost at 1 o'clock. It's ridiculous. There's no reason why a game should be that fucking long.
I love it.
It's fucking
I love
insane.
baseball.
It's literally insane to have that shit. I don't get that. I love the Astros. I really do. But I want the Texans or the Rockets to win a championship, okay? That would mean more for the city. Sorry. It just would. It just would.
All right.
Basketball's more exciting. And NFL's number one sports in America.
They can go to China and play basketball for all I care. A bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Go to China.
China's going to steamroll over Hong Kong, and the NBA is a bunch of fucking hypocrites for I don't care who doesn't like that anyway. You know what the general manager did of the Rockets?
He's a fucking idiot.
He went to support Hong Kong.
I don't know why he did
It was
that.
an innocuous tweet.
Dude, China literally basically owns the fucking Rockets, and you gonna say something about China? I was like, what are you doing?
He didn't.
What are you doing?
He said prayers or support for Hong Kong. That's
all
he said.
What are you doing?
What he's doing is he's trying to stop a genocide from occurring.
I understand that part, though. But you work for the Rockets.
Whoa,
half the Toyota Center is in Chinese.
Okay, so we're not going to do the All-Star game in North Carolina because they won't pick the right bathroom. But we're going to. Oh yeah, they withdrew the All-Star game from North Carolina unless they withdrew their bathroom gender law. Regardless of how you feel about that, but it's okay to let China do what the fuck they want. They're just a bunch of fucking hypocrites. And their only response is, well, the world is a lot grayer than it is black and white. Bullshit. You're a bunch of hypocrites. You could have pulled out of China as a protest. That would have been smart. You'd have gotten way more fans on this side of the ocean by doing that. It's an international sport. And China should not be, just because they have all the money, they should not be allowed to commit a genocide against Hong Kong, which is coming, by the way. Wait until it happens. You'll see the boycotts in the NBA. They're going to regret doing what they did. I'm sorry, but I'm pissed off about that. I don't get pissed off about anything. Okay, we're going to take a break. Now, when we come back, we'll have our guest. Stay tuned. Watch these quick, short, important breaks.
Hey, so I guess this week is Scott White, a comedian from Houston, Texas. What's up, Betty?
Well, I wish I would have known I was going to be on film. I wouldn't have dressed like a hobo.
You know who he looks like, though? He looks like the Amazing Jonathan. He looks.
Everybody says
In
that.
fact, exactly.
Everybody
I've done a bunch of shows with him back in the old days.
Yeah, he's not dead.
Have you met the guy?
I've met the guy. He's supposed to be.
He's shorter than you, but he looks exactly like you.
But, well, and he's had. If you look at Amazing Jonathan's headshots, he's had hair transplant. So one, he's got a receding hairline.
Yeah,
the other one he doesn't, and then he does. So his hairline keeps going backwards and forward. Oh, by the way, 36.
His waist size is 36.
Well, we knew he's white, so it couldn't have been penis size. In fact, his fucking name is white. So
That's hilarious. By the way, 36.
Yeah, you look just like, and you got the band, and that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I had to look at you twice, and I go, I know that guy.
It's
and then
Amazing Jonathan.
and I'm doing a little Rolodex, and I'm like, no, I work with him. He's a comedian because I thought you were the amazing when you were sitting down over
Mike,
there. I'm
you
like,
know you're not helping the stereotype for white people, right? You're doing it right, because I'm just saying.
All white people look the same. All white people look the same.
It's not helping your case right
all
now.
white people look the same.
You just thought he looked like a major Jonathan.
He does. He does.
I'm not saying he doesn't.
When I had the
right
radio show, when people would call in, this is a way we would do it: is to paint a picture, give a picture painted. We would say, "Who's your celebrity lookalike?" And they would say something. And if he didn't say Amazing Jonathan, he'd be crazy.
I was with a friend and Ray Allen. You know Ray Allen, the basketball player?
Yeah.
That's your friend?
No, I'm with a friend.
Oh, okay.
No, if I wouldn't be here.
I'm
if
from
Ray Allen was like that.
I'm from Syracuse.
Yes.
I know Ray Allen. He has beaten our ass more than once.
Connecticut, baby.
There was a guy that looked like Ray Allen.
Okay.
And I went up to and I'm like, you look like Ray Allen. And my friend goes, you can't say that. I'm like, why? That's because because he's black. Yeah, that's why he looks like Ray Allen, because he's black. If I said
Well, that's one of the first qualifications. Yes.
yeah. Oh, he looks like Ray Allen.
It's like who looks like Rich Williams. I get that. I get it.
No, actually, motherfucker, Rich Williams looks like me.
No, he doesn't. You guys don't look like each other
what's
at
that?
all.
I was
I'm
going to
just
say,
saying, he looks more like me than I look like
what's
him.
that famous line from Superman 4?
What?
Where Gene Hackman creates Meteor Man or whatever it is, and Meteor Man goes, Gene Hackman goes, you have my voice, and Meteor Man goes, no, you have my voice. Yeah,
That's funny.
It's funny. My wife is she gets all her news from the ABC morning show there with
today?
Michael Strahan?
No, he used to be on it. Now it's
It's Ryan Seacrest, and
Kelly Ripa, and Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
So she watched Ryan and Kelly, and she goes,
watches that?
Mike, there was somebody from Houston, a comedian from Houston on today. She was the co-host, and I said, who is he? He goes, she's a black girl. I'm like, all right,
boy.
Roxy Hayes. So I'm like, she was a YouTuber, she said. I'm like, oh, got to be Roxy Hayes, right? I said, is this her? She looks at it and she goes, yeah, that's her. I'm like, no fucking way Roxy Hayes gets to co-host on an ABC morning show. But I'm like, maybe. And I'm looking through her feed because she would have announced it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Nothing. And then I thought about it. I'm like, no, there's another YouTuber who lives in L.A. who used to live here, and I forgot her name. But I worked with her when I first moved down here. It was like 12 years ago. And, yeah, it was her. She lives in L.A. She's got millions of fans.
Who is this?
I'll think
He's
of it.
not one of.
I love how you just shit on Roxy
I don't
Hayes.
know any.
The story.
No, I didn't
shit on Roxy Hayes.
I didn't.
No fucking way. There's no way she's gonna be on a fucking show.
I think what he meant to say is there's no fucking way she would have been on a show without announcing it.
Right. That is exactly.
Without making that known.
That is exactly.
Good save, Scott.
White people,
No.
people have to stick together.
No, that's what I meant. But what was funny is when I looked at the picture
I know,
of
just messing with you, Mike.
when I looked at the actual comedian who was on the show,
Oh my god.
they're just two black women on YouTube. They look
So
nothing.
Bonnie just made up. This how scary.
That's
it
my
is.
wife looked at it and goes, yeah, that's her.
It
They don't
fucking-
look anything alike.
It's so infuriating to me because can you imagine back in the days when black people they just thought they would look like the criminal and they weren't even the criminal at all. It's so insane how people just mistake people for somebody else all the time. It's so crazy.
You're going to hate this. Facial recognition software can't tell one black person apart from another.
I hate that.
The biggest racial failure on artificial intelligence for facial recognition is Africans. The number one failure. And they're trying to
You
get
know
a lot
why,
of
though, right?
they're trying to get a lot of black people.
You know what the problem is, right? It was
No.
created by a white man.
Well, yeah, they could be. I don't know. Actually, what they're trying
That's
to do
the problem right there.
is they're trying to get as many black people cataloged so that they can
That could be one of
identify.
the problems right there.
Yeah, I don't know what the reason is, but even the software's fucked up.
All right, we got to talk about a guest right now. So Scott,
It doesn't. We can
No,
talk
Jonathan.
about whatever you want.
He's Jonathan.
Yeah.
to me.
Jonathan.
Jonathan. So you're from Houston, right?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Oh, that's right.
I'm from Michigan and I live in Houston.
So
I've
You
how
lived
do
can
you-
tell because his accent's almost the same as mine.
Yeah.
So give us a little story, your origin story, a little bit about yourself, man.
I was born and raised in Michigan, and I just eventually got tired of the winters. And I had a buddy that was living in Houston. He says, "Come down, stay with me for a while until you get set up." And that's what I did. And I didn't start doing comedy till I moved to Houston. Open mic at the Laugh Stop. I
year
started.
was
Oh, you've been here a while.
99.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I started.
that's why I graduated from high school, 99.
I moved around here. I moved down here around 97. Then started doing stand up around 99. So I didn't start doing stand up until I was 28 or 29.
Wow.
And just took it from there. So I started doing stand up, and I also started doing improv comedy. I'm a member of Comedy Sports, so I do stand up and improv here in Houston.
You still do that too?
I still do that. Yeah.
Is that a franchise? Because I did
It is.
I did a one nighter in Idaho. They did a regular stand up show, and they booked me to headline there because I was up there anyway in Boise.
Boise,
and
yep,
it was a
there's-
Comedy Sports. The only Comedy Sports I've ever been inside of.
It's 30 around 30 around this country, and then we have one in Manchester, England, and one in Berlin,
Manchester.
Germany. Manchester.
So what you like better though, stand up or improv?
Stand up pays the bills.
Which-
And you hardly ever hear that from a comedian.
Right.
Stand up pays the bills. Stand up it's just improv. Anything. Well, I guess anything can happen in stand up too. You were talking. I saw a post about. I wasn't there, but the crowd work.
Yeah.
At improv has helped me with my crowd work with stand up.
Sure,
100%.
absolutely.
100%. So
Got it.
Yeah, when I did dinner theater, I started doing dinner theater.
I do dinner theater as well.
Pays more than
Dinner
comedy.
theater does play. So I do dinner theater, and I do improv, and I do stand up.
There you go.
Oh wow.
That's because we're from the north and we're versatile.
Yes.
Yeah, because
Because we have no melanin
Guys,
in our skin, so we have to just
Yeah.
demonstrate our skills some other way.
we don't do that crap over here. We have outdoors, so we can do stuff outside.
Exactly. Yeah, not in Michigan. I'm from Syracuse.
We have a lot of shit going
snowy.
outside, not inside.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you've been doing it since 1999?
I started doing open mic in 1999, and then I started started to do it professionally about 2003. That's when
2003.
that's when I went full time as a comic.
So every time we have comedians here, we always ask this question. So what's your biggest high? What's your biggest low as a comic since you've been doing it?
My biggest high, aside from getting booked to headline for the first time,
Yeah.
is
Yeah, tell us about that story. How'd that come about?
it was Randy Butler who
I
books
know Randy.
the
Yeah.
who books the hyenas.
Yeah.
I featured for him. I went through his clubs one time. He only had 2 at the time. No, he did have 3. Anyway, I went through his clubs once, and then he just headlined me the next time around.
Wow.
Which
Nice.
was because
Did you ask for it or he just gave it to
he
you?
just gave it to me.
Awesome.
And it was actually a New Year's Eve show. I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a gig for New Year's Eve." He goes, "Why don't you headline one of my clubs?"
Woo.
And he brought in Ben Creed, who is a professional headliner, and Ben was just in town, and Ben featured. Because
Oh, wow.
Because
Nice.
he was just there at the last minute. So thanks to Randy Butler, if you're listening, Randy gave me my first headline spot. One of my first highs was Joey Diaz. I worked with Joey Diaz,
Yeah.
Okay.
and
Coco.
I was emceeing. So it was one of my first road gigs. And it was me and Jody Ferdig. Jody Ferdig was featuring, and Joey Diaz was headlining. And it was one of my first road gigs, and I was up there, and I was just doing material and just dying, and it wasn't getting anything because it was a small crowd. It was a rowdy crowd. It was one of my first bar gigs as well.
Oh, great.
I wasn't getting anything, and then at the end, this woman said something to me, and I came back with her. It got a huge laugh, And then I said, well, that's the best I'm going to do all night.
That's awesome.
So that was my first time where it clicked. It's just like, okay, sometimes you just can't stand up there and do material. You have to engage.
You're gonna have to write on stage.
You're going to have to write on stage or whatever. So that was a nice high. A low, and this happened not too long ago.
Oh wow, it's just recently.
It was 3-4 years ago. I was a headliner at a club. I've been doing it for years. I called to get rebooked, and the owner goes, well, last time you were here, you weren't bringing it, so I don't think I'm going to bring you back. I'm like, really? Wow.
You a high energy guy anyway.
Yes, I am. So I didn't know what he was talking about. I knew the other comics on the show. I contacted them. I don't know if they were being nice, but they're like, I have no idea what he was talking about. So that was sort of a kick to the ego when I heard that.
Yeah, but you'd know if you weren't doing well on the show.
All comics know.
If you're not selling merch, if people aren't coming up to you after the show, you didn't do well. But if you're selling merch, people coming up to you, I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Exactly.
You did well.
100%. And I did well. And as comics, we all know we're hard. As comics, we're harder on ourselves
absolutely.
than anybody else.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna. If I did bad, I wasn't gonna candy coat it. I know I'm gonna. I did not do bad. So I don't know if there was another reason or whatever, because I should have known better. Because when I talked to the owner of this club, the few times he was always bad mouthing other comedians.
Yeah.
And I never really thought, well, I could be boom. I was the next.
Yeah, I stay away from clubs, and one of the earliest podcasts we did here was because a lot of clubs, the owners are like frustrated comedians themselves, and they just look for whatever's wrong, or it just doesn't make sense to me why they do that. But and I'm not anti-comedy club, don't get me wrong, but a lot of club owners who don't stay in business very long or don't do well. No, I am not.
Don't get me wrong.
No, I just did the secret group. I've done the improv. I've done every comedy club here. Laugh Stop, Laugh Spot. Of course, they closed down, so maybe that was me.
I never got to do the showcase when it got out of Ken Reed would not hire me.
I heard you tell me about that.
That surprises me, but the showcase is coming back. It'll open next year. Yep.
Danny's bringing it back?
Well, Danny's behind it.
Are you confirmed it, or are you just making rumors right now?
No, I'm 100% sure.
How do you know about that?
I saw a post on Facebook, and they made a couple phone calls. True
What?
story.
This was today?
No, the post on Facebook was like 3 weeks ago. They've got a location. They're in the lease
it's not going
negotiation.
to be in the same spot?
No, not
They're not
that
going to move it another 3 inches?
and pay
Did
ridiculous.
Danny post this, or somebody else posted this?
Somebody else posted it. I talked to them, and
Got it.
Danny's behind it, though. But Danny's just advising and helping.
But they keep it a name Comedy Showcase.
He's got the name. He had to have permission from Danny to get the name, so yeah.
Well, he changed it to, what did he change it?
Joke Joint,
Joint,
because he owned a club in Ohio
Called
with the same name.
Minnesota.
Oh,
wasn't it in the Mall of America? No.
St. Paul. It was in St. Paul.
Oh, St. Paul.
I don't know where St. Paul is.
So you've been doing comedy professionally how long then? 15 years then?
2003. Yeah, I would say about
16 years.
16 years. All in all, 20 years if you count.
Yeah.
Because when I first started, 99, so about 20 years altogether.
So you remember your class that you started with? They're still doing comedy, or not really?
Oh man, my class was.
Kristen Linder was in it?
Kristen Linder was in my class. I believe Sam Damaris was in my class.
Strong.
Yeah. Chuck Savage, who doesn't do it anymore, he was in my class. The ones that were a little bit of John Westling was a little bit before me. Tommy Drake was before me. Tommy Drake was like actually my mentor, even though Tommy is younger than me. He was my mentor. He took me under his wing. He took me on some road gigs. He got me out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice. So he's like strictly clean. He's a
Tommy is strictly clean. Now he can work dirty if he wants to, but he can work clean. He can also work clean.
He's like a really super nice guy.
Tommy Drake Tommy's the best.
Does he live in LA or does he live here?
No, he lives in the Woodlands.
Yeah,
okay.
but he does cruises.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
He gets employed a year and stuff like. He's like killing them cruise ships.
He worked for Cher he opened for Cher for the longest time too.
See, there you go. No, this guy, he's like really nice guys.
Really? No, Tommy Drake is.
What's he got to be upset about, right?
No, just
he's got a beautiful wife. He's got a beautiful.
Oh,
home.
of course he does.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he told me the story. He told me the story how his wife pursued him.
What?
Yeah. They went to a wedding together, and she saw him, and she pursued him. So not only Tommy's a great comic, he's just got women.
He's just winning every angle of life.
All he does is win.
Women go for people with a sense of humor. Let's be honest.
Well, that's right.
Women go
So I
to you.
mean,
You're so
okay.
funny.
So let's go back to comedy step. So what's your worst bomb ever? Do you remember it?
My worst bomb ever. I recall we were outside. Whenever you work outside, it's never good. And this wasn't outside. We were doing comedy in a college, but in the hallway where people were just walking. It was like a vestibule or something where people were just walking in and out, and nobody. And they go, "We're just going to do a stand-up comedy at lunch." So it was lunch. It was lunchtime, and there was 3 comics, and we were just doing this. We were doing this show in the hallway. Nobody stopping by. People were just looking, not paying attention. I would rather have people heckle than not pay attention.
Right.
If that means at least they're engaged in
Right,
it.
at least
These people could not have cared less. Nobody knew. I don't think they advertised because nobody knew what was going on. Everybody looked shocked as they walked
spring
past.
up comedy on people.
I hate that too. When you go to a bar and they don't let people know that it's comedy night,
Right.
and when they turn off the TVs and you hear,
Then we
That's
gotta
the worst.
Then we gotta listen to this guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'll give you another one. I was doing a show, and I forget what it was, but it was in a bar, and their college team was in, it was March Madness. So their college team was playing on the television.
Oh, you ain't turning them
You remember
off.
the team? Or
I
not?
can't remember the team, and they turned it off, and people got angry.
Can you blame
They just, while we were doing our show, they just hate fucked us with their eyes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's hilarious, man.
Those are that's some pretty big hell gigs, bar gigs. So you tour regularly now?
Yes, I just got back from 6 weeks in Canada.
Canada.
weeks
Yeah.
in
Oh, we know a lot of
Canada.
the same people. West Coast or East Coast Canada?
Toronto, Ottawa, and Kingston.
Oh yeah. I've
They
done
have a
all those
Kingston,
cities.
Canada?
I'm
That's
from
funny.
Syracuse, New York.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm in
What do
Canada
they do
all
over
the
there?
time. I was used to perform in Canada. You know Mikey Dambra by any
Mike
chance?
Dambra. I do know Mike
Yes.
Dambra.
We almost went into business together. He was one of my favorite comedians.
Pickles.
Pickles? And
That's the
he
guy
does-
that does that joke
the
that you
retard
love.
joke,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And I was just going to add, the reason I brought it up is, have you talked to him recently? Because I haven't seen him in probably 15 years.
I'll get an email from him every once in a while.
How does he feel about the politically correct crowd? He must be doing okay in
It
Canada.
doesn't bother him.
No.
He's one of those where it doesn't bother. I mean, I worked with Mike before.
He needs it to get
and
it.
he'll piss
to
off.
work.
He'll
He's
be-
dealing with an older crowd, so his crowd is more. They know
Well,
what
I don't
to
know
expect.
about that. He's a club comic, so
he
I
is
don't
a
know
club
about
comic, and he'll piss off a handful of people. He doesn't care.
No.
Because all the other people are just there to
So
see.
Danny Liberto, Nicky
know.
Mara, no Nick
I
Mara?
worked with Moody.
McCarthy.
I worked with Moody McCarthy.
Moody McCarthy's a guy who convinced me in my 30s to try doing comedy again. We were on the radio together.
I was there. Yeah, I worked
Yeah,
with Moody
he's
McCarthy.
he's a very funny guy.
He
He's
is
very laid back,
He's
dry,
very laid
dry
back. He's
comic,
very dry.
but he's very funny.
He's also very clean.
Oh, extremely.
Yeah.
He was on Last Comic Stand. He did pretty well on
wow.
that. Moody.
So we get
He's a
comedians.
Syracusan.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get comedians on here. We talk about obviously political correctness. So did you see the Chappelle special?
I did see the
Did you
Chappelle's.
like it?
I liked
What's
it.
your thoughts?
I wish he wouldn't laugh at his own jokes.
God damn, really? That's what you got from that? Wait, you didn't laugh at this.
That's what I got from him because I wasn't offended by anything.
Yeah. No, but
But
everybody.
he's been doing that, though. He's been doing it for a long
He
time.
has
though.
been doing that for a long
What's
time.
great is none of the audiences were offended. He's got like a 90-something, 99% Rotten Tomatoes, but all the critics are frowning. He goes, he isn't towing the PC line. And I'm like, good.
Because you know it was here in Houston.
He was here in Houston, not too long.
He was here like last week.
Last week.
Last
for
week,
he
yeah.
He
did,
did 3 nights.
he did
House
did
of
2
Blues.
pro shows.
Louis
and just,
C.K. did a weekend in Toronto while I was up there.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes, sold out.
Of course he did.
Sold out.
Did you guys? Was it good reviews for him?
They the comics that saw it, that posted, liked it, and I didn't hear any people bad mouthing it. So I didn't hear any.
I
bad.
talked to a comic. I'm not gonna say his name, but he went to the Chappelle's thing in House of Blues, and he says Chappelle's still talking about trans people on stage, and he goes, he's so over the trans jokes. I was like, I mean, was it fun? He goes, yeah, people laugh, but I get tired of him talking about it. I was like, why would you be tired of talking? I mean,
Well, when we're interested in your reviews, we'll let you know.
All he's doing is just because he knows that people are gonna talk about it, so he's just poking that fucking thing.
That would be like if you went to a Jim Gaffigan show and it's like, well, I'm over him talking about his kids.
Right.
That's what he does.
Right.
He talks about his kids or his
Food
or baby.
He did a whole episode on his sitcom about. He was like, I don't do too many food jokes, and that was exactly what he was talking about. Is comics who are identified with one thing, who don't think they are, and every other comic just reviews.
Yeah, or
them that
like
way.
Tim Allen not talking about tools.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's just it was just weird. That's like he's gonna do it because that's just him. He knows that he's just gonna get that traction. People gonna talk about it, and he's gonna still stay relevant. I mean, he doesn't care about
his fans are coming, and if people are paying money just to go be offended, yeah, go ahead and burn your money.
It's insane. They had a couple drive from Austin to go see him. They paid like $500 just to go see Chappelle here in Houston.
In the Foundation Room, yeah.
Wow, it's nice. Insane. It's fucking insane.
Well, I think
was Mo with him?
Yes.
Love Mo Amir. Mo Amir is one of the
show. Mo is the guy that brought him to Ruggies, actually.
Mo is one of the greatest guys in the world. I work with Mo.
So you must have started around the same time.
Mo was in my class too.
I'm about to say because
wow, that makes you feel bad. Mo was in my class, and Mo,
and now Mo's like fucking
when
Netflix
Mo was on
specials.
stage, but it was fuckity fuck. When Mo first started, it was every other word was fuck. This fuck, and it just shows you how
he figured it out.
He figured it out.
Yeah, if you want to be on TV, you got to be.
And he's married to Danny's daughter.
Right.
Yeah. Peggy, who's also a fantastic person.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never met Peggy.
Peggy's great. And
she used to manage the club, didn't she?
I think she helped. I think it was her and Danny's wife.
No, his daughter. I mean, she was tough. I remember. She was nice, though, but she was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, them's was the days. I'm glad you did well in Canada. Were you doing all the yucks up there?
I was doing absolute comedies.
Absolutes. Never did them.
You do one or the the
So it's like a B club, A club?
No. Absolute Comedy is an A club.
It's an A club.
It's an A club.
Yucks is probably closer to a B club.
Yes.
That's why I got in.
Absolute Comedy Ottawa is one of the best clubs I've ever played in my life.
Place.
It's an amazing club. Yeah.
So, but is the audience nicer than the American audience, or?
I wouldn't...
Well, they're smoking, right? They still let them smoke indoors.
No, there's no smoking indoors.
It's finally
there's no smoking.
Wow.
I wouldn't say that. The one thing I've realized about Canadian audiences is you have to give them a little extra time to get the joke because you'll say the punchline and there'll be a moment of silence and then they'll start laughing. So
is it because of the accent?
No, it's not because of the accent. I just think they're just being polite.
It's exactly what it is. It's
waiting
like
for the joke to end. Oh, now we're going to laugh.
When you do older audiences, I warned Koo about this because he did a retirement home first. I said, well, let me tell you how this is going to work. You tell the joke. You time the audience. Don't let them time you. He goes, why? I said, if you talk over their laughter, they will stop laughing because they don't want to miss anything.
They don't want to miss anything.
Polite audiences are still having a good time. You got to time them. You can't let them time you.
That's something.
And I mean, a lot of younger comics don't even know what we're talking about. But I mean, it's important that you do it that way.
I see that.
But a lot of younger comics don't adjust too. They go out and do their. You can't do the same act for a crowd of 300 than you do for a crowd of 23.
No.
Those are two. You have to do two different shows.
Right.
Right, absolutely.
Because I was working, and I was working.
Beautiful time of the year to be in Ottawa, though, too.
It was. The weather was perfect. The last week got cold and rainy, but for the most part, it was beautiful weather. But I was working with a comic, and we were doing his show for 5 people. 5 people. And he went up, and he did his act. And you ever see anybody have a mental breakdown on stage?
No.
Yeah, well, he came close. Because he was young and he didn't know what he was doing his act.
He was panicky.
He was panicky. It was like there's 5 people.
Holy crap!
Yeah, that's happened to everybody.
You have to address that there's 5 people.
Yeah.
I don't care if the club might not like it, but you have to address that there's 5 people in the room.
Yeah. Well, that's how you learn, though.
That's how you learn.
Know,
that's how I learn.
My stock line is I'm like, well, it's always good when the audience outnumbers the comedians.
Right.
That's a good thing. And they
so the kid just went up there and just did his material?
He just did his material, and it wasn't working, and the people weren't laughing, and he was just freaking out. And
and has no ability to adjust because he doesn't
And
have
he had
anything in his
he
tool
had
belt.
no ability to adjust to what was happening.
That's too bad.
It,
But it's good. I mean, if he sticks with
it's good.
comedy,
I
he'll
don't know if
figure it out.
I don't know if he stuck with. That's the kind of moment where you either stick it out or you quit.
Yeah.
This way you know what you're made of.
That's what you know. You're exactly right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I've had moments like that. Not in a very long time, but I've had moments like that. I've had moments too where the crowd is doing what that guy's audience did, but then I'm like, okay, they're not paying attention. Got to stop. Got to talk to them.
Yeah.
But I've bombed like that before early on. I was, I don't know, 19 years old. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
So you've been 20 years, because 1999 is 20 years ago. So what would be the best advice for a new comic? Because our engineer / producer, Charles Justice with an E, what advice would you give him? Because he's actually, he probably not going to say that, but he's doing great. He's on a great roll right now. He's been doing well for like 2 weeks now. No, I'm saying you've been doing well on the road. You've been doing well for like 2 weeks. He's been on the street for like 2 weeks. He did an open mic yesterday, and he's not gonna brag about it. I'm gonna brag for him. He did an open mic yesterday at Secret Group, and the owner of APCA was there with Andy Huggins, and he saw his set and gave him his business card and said, "Call me in 5 years."
There you go.
So you automatically see something in Charles. So what advice do you have for Charles?
One advice, the best advice I ever got was let the audience laugh. So if you get a big joke, don't jump on, like you were saying, don't jump on their laughter. Let that laughter subside. Ask questions. When I was at the Laugh Stop, the comics coming through at the Laugh Stop at that time were Ron White and Adam Ferrara.
I love Ron.
And and well, actually, we had Larry the Cable Guy. If you don't like it,
anyway.
if you don't like these guys were national touring.
Ron
Jim
Schock was Ron.
Gaffigan. I worked with Jim Gaffigan there.
Yep.
Ask questions about those. Three what? We got 3 minutes.
We can just take a break and then come back.
Okay.
No, we got 3 minutes because I don't want to. I want to keep them under an hour. Keep going.
Because I have noticed nowadays when and the owner of the Absolute came up, he goes, "Did any of the open micers ask you a single question?" And I go, "No." And he goes, "I bring in this, I bring in somebody from the fucking United States, and it's really weird. It's like I'm nobody here, but for some reason, if they say you're from the United States, and
Oh, it's a
Canada,
big deal.
It's a big deal."
I used to get to do Montreal Comedy Festival. Nobody gets to do that because I was from America.
Right. Not a single question. I've been at clubs where the open micers are sitting with their backs to. They don't even watch the show. They're sitting with their backs to the comics, just just hoping. So ask as many questions. Touring different headliners. Just ask as many questions as you can. Get as much information under your belt as possible. It can only help you in the end. And you pick and choose. If somebody gives you advice or whatever, pick and choose, but always listen. Never dismiss. If a guy's been doing it for 20 years or if a woman's been doing it for 20 years, there's obviously a reason they've been doing it for 20 years. So,
Right.
Okay,
so we're gonna do plugs now, right?
Yeah, what you got? What you got going on? Plug your stuff.
I got I have my own podcast called the Dan Aykroyd Podcast, where I just look at Dan Aykroyd projects.
That's funny.
It is the one I just did. It's
Well, you should have me on because I have a fantastic Dan Aykroyd story. I have two of them actually.
I just put this is October, so I just put out the Twilight Zone. Yes, Twilight Zone, the movie, and my website scottyblanco.com. It has all my links. I have a YouTube channel, Scott White, YouTube.com. Scott White Comedian, where I have my stand-up clips and I do reviews. All that can be found on my website, scottyblanco.com. Twitter, at ScottWhite91. Instagram, ScottWhite1968.
Cool.
Sounds
What
good.
you got, Mike?
For me, just hit my same thing. Comedian Mike Rao, RAO, everything.
He's never ready.
Website, Twitter, Instagram. I'm
It was
ready.
coming too.
I'm ready. And then the one thing I want to plug is headlining again the Cine El Rey. Just starting off a little road gig on Wednesday, October 30th, and then I'll
Say
be on
hi
the
to
road.
Mario for me.
Oh, Mario.
Mario.
And ask him about the Chargers.
Oh shit.
We text during football. I don't watch football, but we text during Sundays. I think he thinks he gets some catharsis asking me my opinion. I'm like, they suck. What do you want me to tell you? They have no offensive line. They're going to lose.
All right, Mike. All right, so cool you to your friends. Black Friday, November 29th. We got two shows, 8 o'clock and 10 p.m. You get your tickets right now at www.secretgroup.com. texas.com. 2 shows, and it will be at Syracuse November 23rd.
November 23rd, Mohegan Manor.
And that's all we got.
And it's haunted.
Oh, yeah, Del Rio, October 25th. Fucking white people. Anyway,
Did the same joke.
October 25th, Del Rio. We coming too. Rio.
Yeah, Del Rio will be there, and Irma will be there
And
hosting.
we have Charles open up the show as well.
Oh, Charles coming to Del Rio with
Yeah.
us? Oh, my God.
All right, man.
Charles, I get the bed.
Peace.
All right, thanks.
We out here.
Bye.
Bye.